Thank you all. Thank you for your help. It was so difficult and dangerous.
70-year-old Valentina has just arrived from the occupied territory. She is a resident of Mariupol. It took almost 10 days to get to Zaporizhia.
My apartment is completely ruined. I have worked for 45 years as a kindergarten teacher, and now I don't have my home.
The house where she lived was bombed in the first months of the war. Valentina was able to get out of the ruins. She stood next to the destroyed houses and did not know what to do. The shelling continued in the city.
Everyone was running somewhere. It was such a fear, God forbid.
Neighbors told her daughter that her mother was left alone on the street. The daughter was able to come for Valentina and take her away.
The Russian bomb destroyed my lyceum. A house caught fire nearby, and then our 12th story was the next. My daughter's apartment was ruined. She brought me to her place. On the second day, all the windows fell out. Well, I'm a beggar. I have nothing. People were killed because they wanted to cook food.
Irina and Milena left Mariupol on April 17, and only on May 2nd they were able to get to the territory controlled by Ukraine. They spent 20 days in Mariupol in the basement.
The most difficult for us was the lack of information about where the relatives are who live 15 minutes walk from you. It was impossible to get there. Shelling was constantly going on, and our children were for 10 days without getting out of the basement. They did not come out at all.
For these 2 months, Milena forgot about school and her friends. She saw how one of the entrances of their house burned down, heard how her neighborhood was being bombed, and she knows that if she covered the head with a pillow, it would not be so scary in the basement during the explosions. A 7-year-old girl was most afraid when enemy planes were flying.
She called the plane that flew over the city Valera. Valera was bored and it was doing stupid things.
In Mariupol, there is still no electricity, gas, water and any information. People have nowhere to live. Their houses are completely destroyed.
People still live there. They equip places that, it would seem, have never been equipped. Small kiosks that used to sell cigarettes, shoes were repaired. People live there now. He said that there are elephants running around.
Katerina and her 10-year-old nephew Oleg got out of Mariupol on April 19. They hid in the basement of the emergency hospital. Their central area was shelled.
On April 7th, all 3 sides of the city were bombed very heavily. That is Azovstal, Ilich and Primorsky district. You realize that these bombs are no longer falling on you, but you understand that they are falling on someone else. It was very difficult. And on April 7th, it was such an impression that the planes did not stop flying at all.
Before leaving Mariupol, Katerina came home to pack her things. She was able to take only the most necessary, a piece of her life and the city.
When I got home, I saw that all my windows were broken, but I know that I was lucky. Others had their houses burned down, and at least I had my childhood photos. They were in a suitcase. I could not leave them.
According to the Mariupol City Council, Russian occupation forces are disrupting the evacuation more than 2,000 residents. People have been unable to leave occupied Berdyansk for 2 weeks. Now more than 100,000 residents remain in Mariupol. More than 200 civilians are hiding at the Azovstal plant. Reported by Roman Smoler, Nadia Sukhorukova, UATV News.